of reptiles. For all of you thinking this is a great pickup line, it's not. It's a terrible pickup line, never use it. But I digress. I'm allowed to use that term, I'm an English major. So I own reptiles, and I had a friend in from New York, and she was looking at my snake tank and going, "Oh, can I hold one of your snakes? This is my last chance before I have to go back to New York." And I'm thinking to myself, something about this sounds like a bad idea. They haven't eaten in a couple weeks. They might be a little antsy. She's looking at me and she's saying, "Oh, but I have to go back to New York. And I'm not allowed to have pets in my apartment. And the only animals there are giant rats. Please just let me hold one." So I'm thinking to myself, oh, what's the worst that can happen? If you ever think this, stop, say no right away. So I go and I look through my tanks and I say, all right, I know just the snake. This is kind of the special child of the group. This is the snake whose favorite thing is to crawl down a woman's shirt, curl up in the cleavage, just kind of sit there. Apparently very comfortable, don't know how to try it. So I take out this snake, the snake's just kind of hanging there like, I'm out of the tank. So I'm thinking, oh, this is going to be fun. So I hand the snake over to my friend. You know, she's handling it, she's doing the whole, don't poke the head thing. Everything's going great. So I turn my head away for a second, and I hear her kind of see her out of the corner of my eye, just hear her faintly go, "Oh, the snake is looking at me." And the next thing I hear is, "Ah!" So the snake has firmly attached itself to her chin. She now has a 3-foot snake hanging off of her chin. So she is panicking, as most normal, sane people do. Her boyfriend is panicking, as most normal, sane boyfriends do. And I am starting to panic as a snake owner who does not want to end up on the news as the girl who snakes attack random people. So I look at her boyfriend and I say to him, "Run up to the kitchen, get a rubber spatula." Because as all snake owners know, the best way to pry off an angry snake is to use a rubber spatula. Come on, Peebles, it's common knowledge. So, as he's running up to the kitchen, all I can think to myself is, he's never been in my kitchen before. And all I can hear is the sound of drawers opening and banging closed, opening and banging closed. And all I can think now is, the spatulas aren't in the drawers. So meanwhile, I'm trying to kind of just hold the snake so that it doesn't attach itself further to another part of her face. So I'm holding the snake, I can't do anything. She's starting to get less scared and more angry now. And she's just kind of spewing obscenities towards the snake, towards the mother who spawned the snake, towards the grand snake who spawned the snake. And I'm no longer worried about my friend. I'm worried about the snake. So her boyfriend finally comes running down, triumphant, holding a wooden spoon and saying, "Will this work?" I look at him and go, "No, that's a wooden spoon." So at this point, I'm triumphant in getting the snake off of her chin. That's the good news. The bad news, it's now firmly attached to my finger. So my friend is there trying to staunch the bleeding. Her boyfriend is there trying to hand me a wooden spoon still. And so I am now bleeding as well, holding a snake that's trying to consume my finger, running up to the kitchen to get the rubber spatula. So if one can picture this scene, one person is bleeding, her boyfriend is far more concerned about her than about me, who still has a snake attached to my finger. So I run into the kitchen, I find the spatula. By the way, all of the drawers are pulled out, all of the silverware is everywhere. It was a nightmare. So I get a spatula and I'm able to kind of wedge the snake off my finger. And meanwhile, it's still just kind of like, "Wah!" It's very angry at this point because it's been denied 2 human meals in a row. It's tasted human blood. It is not happy. So I just kind of drop the snake back in the tank, slam the lid shut. I'm bleeding profusely. I'm holding a bloody spatula. My friend is bleeding profusely. Her boyfriend is still kind of panicked and holding a wooden spoon. So I'm thinking, okay, I have the situation under control. Nobody ever has to know. No one has to know that I own vicious reptiles. I can still get a job as a teacher and I won't have a permanent record. And then, all of a sudden, my friend grins triumphantly and says to her boyfriend, "Take a picture, post it on Twitter." And that is why, for the last about a year, I've been going around my circle of friends, telling them about the time I had to pry a snake from my finger with a rubber spatula.